Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a Sunday feast class given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on November 24th, 2019 at New Panihati Dham in Atlanta, Georgia, USA.
Salam Pangalangayatagaram Yatkipataman Mande Sri Gurum Nidhaniram Paramanandamadavam Sri Chaitanya Isram Hariyam Tatsat. So I will try to speak. In 2008 I had a stroke, and since then my speech has been a little bit impaired since the left side of my face is paralyzed. So if you have trouble, I can have it repeated. Tell me after I speak for a few minutes. I'll ask again if you need a repetition. So I have as he said, I will try to glorify Krishna. We know that in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has spoken a summary of the Vedas and Vedic knowledge. And he mentions how we are actually the eternal living spiritual energy, which the living force in the body that provides consciousness and life to the body. The body is made of 8 material elements, 5 gross and 3 subtle. Now, we think that the body is ourself, or we think that other people are their bodies. When the soul leaves the body, or the living force, the body is dead. The body was never alive, only because the living force is present in the body, therefore it appears alive and acts. It is the instrument, machine of material nature, which fulfills the desires of the material, of the spirit soul. So, like this, we go through life after life, and so what is the purpose of life? Actually, we're meant to return back to the eternal abode, or as explained, the kingdom of God, the spiritual world, where there's no birth, there's no death, no old age, no disease, where the Supreme Personality of Godhead, He is eternally youthful. He doesn't grow old. In a pristine chapel in Rome, it shows God as the old man, because He is the oldest. But actually, if you could do everything, who of you would like to be old? Like to have old age crippling you? So the Supreme Person, He never grows old. He stays eternally youthful. One of His names is Nava Yovana, always freshly youthful. So, even when He was speaking the Bhagavad Gita, He was 125 years old, but He looked like a 25-year-old man, because he never grows old. He's the oldest, but he never grows feeble and old and white-haired and wrinkled. And so I think everybody would, if you had a medicine that could give you eternal youth, everyone would go, I'll take that. So, in a spiritual world, everybody is eternally youthful. Not only Krishna, but all the people. But sometimes he comes down once in a day of Brahma, once in 1,000 yugas. Then one yuga is Chatra Yuga, or Satya, Chaita, Dvapara, and Kali. It's 4,320,000 years. 1,000 of those are 4 billion years in one day of Brahma. So, our life in comparison is maximum 100 years or more or less. I think the insurance company average says about 75. Women live a little longer than men. So, when Krishna comes down, once in a day of Brahma, he displays his childhood, his different pastimes, in Rajadam, and Mathuradam, and Dwargadam. So those places are still existent on earth. You go there in India and see them. So, when we say in the West, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, in the Vedas they describe Krishna or Vishnu, Narayana. He has countless names. He is the Father. He is the Supreme Godhead. And that he stands as the Sutta Soul, or the Paramatma, in the heart of every living entity and every atom. He is the one that keeps everything going. And then he descends as his son or as various spiritual masters or incarnations to establish principles of religion. Who needs a repetition? Can you understand what I'm saying? Portfolio. Be natural antibiotic. So, Krishna is beyond the Vedas. But something is told to us about his glories in the Vedas. Something. Like when he was a child in Vrindavan, he had various pastimes. And like his, the Vrajavarsis or the residents of Vrindavan did not know that he was God. At one time, to teach the Lord of the Rings and the King of Heaven a lesson, he told the Vrajavasis not to do Indra Puja. Rather, to worship the Govardhan Hill, to worship the cows, like that. So then Indra got very angry because he was getting every year some worship from the local cowherdmen. all his thunderclouds come in and rain, flood, Vrindavan. So Krishna lifted up the Govardhan hill with his one hand, one finger. He lifted it up for 7 days and told all the residents of Vrindavan, come under the hill, come under the mountain of Govardhan, and you'll be safe. So they went under the hill, and he was holding up, and all the cloud boys, they thought, poor Krishna, unless you at least change the mountain from one hand to the next, or you can massage your arm. Or they're trying to hold off the mountain with a stick. They couldn't have the power to do that, but they thought that they were equal to their friend Krishna. So, but at the end of the 7 days, when Krishna told everyone, leave the mountain shelter and put the mountain down, the colored men went to Krishna's father, Nanda Maharaj. They said, who is your son? Who is your son? We just saw him lift a mountain for 7 days. Don't tell us your son is an ordinary person. Who is your son? So, Nanda Maharaj said, well, Kargamuni, an astrologer, came at the time of his birth and read his chart and said that this boy has the power of the Supreme Lord and that he will be very good for the colored men. So, my daddy testified him. Why did he have the power of the Supreme Lord? Why does he have the power of the Supreme Personality God? Because he is. So that, of course, Nanda Maharaj never understood, and he also didn't communicate that. But he said he had the power. So, as Krishna grew, he had different pastimes. One time, all the forest fire came in. All his colored friends, they were in danger of the fire. I asked them, close your eyes. And then he sucked in all the fire. Of course, not all the boys, all of them cheated and looked and saw that Krishna had swallowed the fire. But Krishna did amazing miracles. You can get the Krishna book or the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and you can, or for that matter, the whole Srimad Bhagavatam, and you can read about the great activities of Lord Krishna. I went to Vrindavan, and there's one lake, one man-made lake called Prema Sarovar. Have you visited? Anyone visited Prema Sarovar? Yes. So, it's a beautiful lake. So the story goes that Krishna was seated on a swing with Radha, and a bumblebee started to bother Radharani. So Krishna told his friend Madhu to chase away the bumblebee. So Madhu he then chased away the bumblebee and announced Madhusudan, which is a name of, you could say that it's a name of bumblebee. Madhu means honey, and Sudan means eater. also is the name of Krishna because he killed the mother demon. So when he said Madhusudan had left, Radharani thought that Krishna left, and she started crying in separation of Krishna. But Krishna was sitting next to her. Krishna was there. And when he saw how much love she had for him, that even just hearing that Krishna had left, she started crying. And then seeing her crying, her love, he started crying. And the two crying filled up the whole lake. So that lake is pretty much over. And they say you take a little water of that lake, put it on your head. You'll also get Krishna prema. So unfortunately, I took some of that water. I had never been the same. So later, Krishna went to Mathura, then he went to Dwarka. So when he was in Dwarka, one time he went out with his chariot, and with him he took some of the great rishis like Vyasadeva and various rishis. And so then he went to the kingdom of, what's that place called? Or Sita Devi up here.
Mithila.
Huh?
Mithila.
Mithila, yeah. He went to the king of Mithila, to Vahulasa. And there he was received with a royal treatment. He was given royal golden seats. He and all the rishis, all the great yogis that came with him. The queen took water in a golden pot, poured it on the feet of Krishna, and the king gave Krishna's lotus feet, and then they went to each of the rishis. In the same way they gave lotus feet. Then the king took the water and sprinkled on his queen's head, his princes and princesses' heads, his ministers' heads, everybody. And then he gave royal gifts to Krishna and the rishis. He gave valuable diamonds, jewels. He gave cows to the rishis with special silk and golden ornaments. He gave a feast which was served on golden plates and golden implements. So everything was very royal. And then he begged Krishna with tears in his eyes, please stay as my guest for some days. So at the same time, Krishna and all the rishis had divided themselves and had gone at the same time to the house of one poor Brahmana, devotee of the Lord, Sutapa, who was so poor that even he didn't have enough seats to offer all the yogis and rishis again. He had to borrow from the neighboring house. He gave them a seat. He bathed his wife poured the water. He bathed their feet. He had no gold or jewels to offer. He gave each one a lotus flower, and he asked them, please accept your meal here. But he had only ordinary rice, dal, chapati, vegetable, and his wife had cooked So he put out leaflets of banana leaves and gave out his persona. He was so happy that Krishna had come to his poor house. He was so happy he started to dance. He started to dance and I was saying, Krishna had come. He was so wistful. Haribo! Haribo! So Krishna, he simultaneously went to the royal king's house and he went to his poor devotee's house. So how that devotee and his wife, they were so happy that Krishna came. Now, Krishna, he visited a few houses like that. But Lord Chaitanya, as Krishna avatar, only 500 years ago, he spent 6 years traveling by foot from village to village throughout South India, Western India, Northern India, Eastern India, and every night he would stay in a different house. There, naturally, he would be received a lady in the house with hot water, a husband would wash it. This system is still practiced today in South India, bathing the feet. And Lord Chaitanya would stay in the house. He would give a lecture to the householders and the local villagers. He would take his meal, and how many would like to have Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visit your house? So why he is called the most merciful avatar? He calculated how many days in 6 years traveling around in every house. He would stay one night. So he was giving so much mercy. And people, maybe they didn't understand that he was the Supreme Lord. That doesn't matter, because he was. And their service to him, their spontaneous love for him, that's what counted. And so this way, he gave so much mercy. I said when he was at the in Andhra Pradesh, at the Kurmadesh, which is there, he told one Brahmin, Jali Yako, Tali Koho, Krishna Pradesh, Amar Adya, Guru Haya, Tara Adesh. Whoever you meet, please tell them the message of Lord Krishna. And in this way, by my order, be a guru, be a spiritual teacher, and deliver your countrymen. So, in this way, he gave a similar order to all the people in the different south of India, west of India, north India, east India, however he traveled. So, this instruction also is the Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He delivered here in the Western world. He went around the world about 12 or 14 times, and he gave this instruction to spread the message of Lord Krishna. See, just as his deity is seated on that seat there, he once sat on the same seat here in Atlanta. And he gave lectures here. Those lectures you can hear, they're recorded. This is a holy place. This is a tirtha, because he, a great pure devotee, had come here and stayed days and days. He gave lecture. He said how you are so fortunate. And these deities of Lord Nitai are here. These deities are very special. You see, some people think that the deities are idols. They're not idols. They're made according to the Vedic scriptures. They are installed according to the Vedic system, and they're made in the image of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then they are worshipped every day. We have a worship from 4:30 in the morning to about 7 o'clock at night. So, this is called deity worship, or archana. It's one of the practices, the 9 processes of bhakti yoga. It's archana. And there are many temples that Prabhupada established personally, 108 temples. And then now there are about 800 in Islam. So these deities are called as Archa avatars. Avatars, everybody knows what avatars in America because there's a movie called Avatar. What avatar means, actually, the Lord descends from the spiritual world. That's the real avatar, not what they showed in the movie. That's a speculation. But the Lord descends, and we call that the incarnation of Godhead, but he's not actually incarnated. He descends with his transcendental body, Satchidananda Vigraha, a form of spiritual eternity, cognizance, and bliss. So, these deities and deities established anywhere are established according to a system called prana pratishta. And that system is especially to facilitate us who are not able to see the Supreme Person in our conditioned state, to facilitate us to serve the Lord. Because while we're in this material world, which is like a prison house, we're forced to get old, to get diseased, to die. Some of our members are doctors, some are nurses or training to be nurses. So because in the material world we have disease, and we need to be treated. So these are essential aspects. But in the spiritual world, there's no disease. There's no material bodies. They are our eternal spiritual bodies. So the Lord comes down with his eternal spiritual body. He doesn't grow old. As a deity, he descends to accept our worship. So what food we give out today in the love feast is offered to the Lord. And that's the holy sacrament. Eating that will purify us from various bad karmas. At the same time, it tastes good. So this is a great sacrifice. Are you ready to do this sacrifice? Okay, thank you. So some people, they think that the spiritual life is very dry. Actually, it's not very dry. It's very nectarian. And one of these sacrifices we do is every day especially every week on Sunday, we have a feast. So that's part of the sacrifice, a supreme sacrifice. So human life is meant to serve the Lord. So we give our offering of food to Krishna, and he usually leaves some remnants. So we take that, and that sacrifice we do. Now, one time, there was a devotee of Lord Chaitanya. He was called as Rangadeva. And he was the son of Makundananda. So he got his Upanayanam, his sacred thread. And then my father had to go away. As a Brahmana, he was also a guru. And one of his disciples was sick. So in the Bhagavad Gita, it says that when you're about to die, you should remember the Supreme Lord. I was thinking yesterday, or a few days ago, my disciple here told a joke. So, patient asked the doctor, how long do I have to live? And the doctor said, 9. 9 what? 9 days, 9 years, 9 months. He said, 8, 7, 6, 5. So, but I was thinking that we don't know what we should do. If we are told we have 9 months, 9 years, then they think, oh, let me go for a vacation, let me live life to the fullest. They don't know what to do. If you have 9 seconds, what would you do? You know, chant Hare Krishna, chant the name of God. So, whether if people don't like Krishna name, they can chant Jesus or Allah or Jehovah or something, but they should think of the sweet person at the time of death. But they don't know that. So you should tell them. It's for every religion, every person. It's not a limited just to the Hare Krishnas. Everybody, if they think of the Supreme Lord at the time of death, they're more like the Lord promises He'll take you under His shelter. And people don't know that. They don't know what to do. If they think that they have 9 months, then they think, oh, I'll see as many movies as I can, or some way they'll waste time. Prabhupada said that one of his friends, when he was a grihastha, one of his friends asked the doctor, give me 1 more year, 1 year. The doctor doesn't have the power to give anyone more time. But he said for the doctor, give me 1 more year. I can double my money. What does it matter if you die with 1 million or you die with 2 million? You can't take it with you. So, unfortunately, people don't know what to do. But Bhagavad Gita tells us that at the time of leaving our body, if we remember Krishna or remember the Supreme Lord, then we go back to Him. I had one family, the mother, the daughters, the son, everyone was my disciple, except the father. He was criticizing, you people are all sentimentalists, everything, so many things. Then he was diagnosed with cancer, and 4th stage. So he was in the bed. The wife served him as a faithful, chaste wife. He was a bit bitter with life, why he had suffered cancer. And one day, through the wall came a few hairy individuals with leather ropes, and they came with fangs, and no, not me, no. He was starting to protest. Now we know that the description of the messengers of death is like this. And they drag the subtle body from the gross body and take the sinful people to some hellish region. But he said, no, not me. Krishna, help! So they disappeared. He called his wife. I want Bhagavad Gita, I want Ved, I want Nagdeeds, I want... In 1 second, the Yamadutas did what we couldn't do for So we hope that husbands or wives who are hesitating to chant, they won't have to be subjected to the Yamaduta treatment. That by chanting Hare, and then he started to chant, read, he got scared at anything. He didn't want to go with those guys. This is, I'm telling you, true story. And I have so many true stories. Lord Chaitanya came down to give the whole world a special chance to go back to Godhead in this lifetime by chanting the name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We like to see everybody somehow or another becoming more God conscious. Srila Prabhupada said that his purpose, when he was asked, what is your purpose, Swamiji? He said, my purpose is to change the way that people think. Unfortunately, people don't think about God. They don't think about the Supreme Person. They're thinking so many things. But he wanted to change the way that people should understand that we have a personal relationship with the Supreme Lord, with His devotees, and that we should take shelter. We should chant His name. We should do service. So I'm very grateful you're coming to the temple. You're doing service for the deity. I want to expand the preaching here in Atlanta, and I say the same thing everywhere I go, so don't get too puffed up. But here, since Prabhupada came here, and since this temple is a kind of holy tirtha, he came. But at the same time, see, like one of my friends and senior GDC members, we were bhaktas together in Montreal, Canada. 1968, Gopal Krishna Maharaj. So he made already 13 or 14 temples in Delhi. And Prabhupada had said that like in Calcutta, at least 10 temples here. He said in Delhi you could have so many temples, Bombay, many temples. So how many temples can you have in Atlanta? Now you have one. I talked to Veda Sar, and he also admits that you can have more temples. So I talked to the different people. So we should plan out how we can preserve this temple as a holy tirtha and how he can expand different parts. And the same thing, like in, I think in Toronto, they have done that in a sense that throughout Toronto they made, how many temples they have? Four. So, in New York they have how many temples? Four in New York. So, five, okay. I'll argue with you. So, how many temples can you have in Atlanta? You only have to know how many can you have. We should say this temple, and then we should extend to others. Like that, we should also have many Bhakti Riksha groups, non groups. And in the world, we have thousands and thousands of Bhakti Riksha groups, so that almost in every neighborhood, every town and village, Lord Chaitanya predicted, Pratibhide Ache, Shata Nagaradi Gram, Sarvatra Prachariti Haide, Moinam. In every town and village throughout the entire world, they'll chant my holy names. So, we like to see that at least people should know that they are eternal, and that again and again, instead of taking birth repeatedly, he should go back to home, back to God. Haribo. Yes? Did I do that?
Devotional service.
Yes.
Devotional service, it is not different from Krishna. So, do you think it is a different crowd to talk about devotional service? Devotional service. So, talk about devotional service. Do you think need a different crowd to talk about devotional service?
Is there a different way to explain devotional service to different people? Of course, I don't know. I mean, it's Sunday feast is always a bit difficult because you have dedicated devotees, new people. So I tried to explain the things a little more, since I don't know all the people that are here. But if you have all new people, you'll explain one way. If you have all mature devotees, you'll explain them another way. So that's called time, place, and circumstance, called Jayapataka. We have to consider that. I don't, Sunday feast, I'm a bit bewildered what to actually say. So rather than say, I just pray to Krishna, please empower me and use me as an instrument. I don't know if what I said was appropriate or everybody understood it or not, but I tried. Yes?
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances of the rest of your
Accepted.
Guru Maharaj, every time we heard we are not this body, we are the eternal soul. But when it comes to the family life, especially the child and mother relationship, so even though we try to bring them as a devotee, but still that attachment is very hard to come out of it. So how we can practice?
That's why I think mothers have a special power. We're told that the first 5 years we should spoil the children actually. We give them what they want, be very affectionate, very loving, and that way they get very attached to the parents. And then from 5 to 15, a little strict. That see that they follow properly whatever the discipline is of the family. And then when they're old, when they're above 15, treat them more as a friend. Be mature, like a friend. Reason with them, explain to them why we do this thing, why not. Don't be more like a big authority. Be more like an old friend. And so this is what Chanakya said 2,500 years ago. I don't know exactly if the years still apply in the modern context, but there's three phases. So at the same time, being a Krishna conscious mother or father, you have the direction you're heading them. You can't force them. Nobody can be forced. But you have to encourage them. If they do something that's Krishna conscious, encourage them. Say it's very good. Not all, like, if they do something bad. Like, I had an uncle, he was very healthy, but he would tell me why what I was doing was wrong. And then, so, he was very heavy that way, but at the same time, it was very calculated. He told me what I was doing wrong and why it was wrong.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.